Hey everyone! Today we're going to be looking at one of the most powerful stories in the Bible. Jesus calms the storm. Imagine this. You're out on a boat with Jesus and a huge storm hits. Waves crashing all around you and the wind's howling. And while everyone's panicking, Jesus is fast asleep. How would you feel? In this story, the disciples felt the same way as you did. Let's go see what happened. It was a long day of teaching for Jesus. As evening set in, he told his disciples, "Let's go across to the other side of the lake." So they all climbed in the boat and set sail across the Sea of Galilee. As they sailed, Jesus was exhausted and fell asleep at the back of the boat. The disciples kept rowing, and for a while, everything was calm. Until suddenly, the wind began to howl. Out of nowhere, a massive storm hit the lake. Waves crashed over the boat, drenching the disciples and rocking the boat wildly. They were fishermen, used to rough waters, but this storm was unlike anything they had ever seen. Panicking, they did everything they could to keep the boat afloat, but it seemed hopeless. And where was Jesus? He was still sleeping with the storm raging around them. They couldn't believe it. The disciples tried their best, but they were all frightened and helpless. Finally, in desperation, they woke Jesus up and shouted in terror. Then something incredible happened. Jesus stood up and faced the storm. All the other disciples in the boat were screaming in fear. But Jesus lifted his arms and said, "Peace be still." And instantly the wind stopped. The waves calmed and the entire lake became smooth. The disciples were stunned. They looked at Jesus and then at each other. And they were beginning to understand that Jesus was no ordinary man. He had authority even over the forces of nature. Jesus calms the storm. This reminds us that no matter how rough things get, we can trust that Jesus is always there, bringing peace and strength into our lives. This story shows us that no storm is too big for Him to calm. When life feels chaotic, we can call out to Him, just like the disciples did. Even if things seem out of control, He's right there with us, ready to bring peace in the storm. When all the disciples were panicking, not knowing what to do, their only hope was Jesus. And yet, He was calm. What we can learn from this story is that no matter how hard your situation is, and no matter what you're going through, whatever the storm you're facing, Jesus is always with you, ready to calm the storm. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.